agency. It is a legal document, so we have to have that. So we do always let our constituents know that. And once that's filled out, we will then take that form and reach out to the agency with it. And then we act as kind of the middleman. So we have different contacts than are available to the public. So we'll reach out to those specific people, say, hey, I need you to look into this information or this issue regarding Jane Elderly, and we'll get whatever response they have for us to her, back to her. And that's how we operate there. And we do try to make that process as easy as possible. We do understand for some of our elderly constituents, they just quite frankly don't like technology, and that's fine. We do have a mailing system. I understand that. So we do have, we're still getting it set up, but right now we are sending out privacy forms. We can print them out, and then we'll send them to our DC office to have them mailed out. But we will be able to do that out of our our district office, hopefully soon. Like I mentioned, we just got phones. So it's still coming together. We are a new member office, but we do have all of our, everything is digital. So like I mentioned, I'll first direct them to the website. I always do in general. I understand some people don't understand how technology works or how to navigate. It's fine. So we'll make sure we can get them the printed version, or we can email it to them if they have an email as well.
Very good. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yes, ma'am. And also just for, I do have my email available and I'm happy to share it, but I would request that you all try to keep it internal. I am happy. We put it on our business cards and I do give it to constituents. That's not a big deal. We just want to try to keep everything in IndiGov because it is, or rather it's our IQ system. It is where we house all of our constituent information, and it is the easiest way for us to correspond with them. So if you do have a constituent who needs to get in touch with me, please have them call the office phone number until we have our centralized office email. And then you all can absolutely speak with me or email with me and say, hey, we need this, or my constituent needs some help. How do I redirect them? And I'll make sure they're handled properly.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. So as we, again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to move forward with our old business, and it's the reconsideration. Oh, I'm sorry. Before we do that, we have some edits to make to our agenda tonight. And I just need the council's approval to remove the painting ordinance and the ask for in-time harvest, $25,000. So at this time, I'll accept the motion to remove those items from the agenda and approve the agenda for this evening.
I so move.
Thank you, Ms. Tuberville. Is there a second?
I will second the motion.
Thank you so much, Ms. Chester. All right, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Perfect. Motion passes. Thank you. So that is what we are removing. And so item B, right, the final consideration of approval of ordinance 23-OR-02, amending the town's code of ordinances, chapter 215-4, concerning specifying the type of materials allowed for driveways. At this time, I'll accept the motion to approve this final consideration.
I'll make a motion.
So that was who?
Hillary and then Betsy.
All right. Ms. Chester made the motion, second by Ms. McCauley. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 All right, so that motion passes. The next items are our minutes. The minutes from January the 11th, our work session, January the 11th, our closed session, and January the 11th, our regular session. At this time, I'll accept the motion to approve those meeting minutes.
I move we approve the minutes.
Thank you, Ms. Tuberville. Is there a second?
Jamie,
Was that you, Ms. McCully?
yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Moved by Ms. Tuberville, second by Ms. McCully. Any discussion on the minutes? Any questions? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Ms. Chester, for your aye.
Aye.
All right, Mr. Johnson, are you here? Okay, so,
He's on mute.
yeah, he might be.
I was
So the
muted.
next, oh, I hear you now. All right, so the next
Yeah, I
item
was
is,
muted.
yeah. The next item is the introduction and approval of ordinance 23-OR-03, amending the town's code of ordinance, amending chapter 34, elections.
Yeah, I need Jamie, Josh, Nancy.
Deleting voter registration by the election officers or the town clerk. At this time, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Ms. McCully. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Motion made by Ms. McCully, second by Mr. Johnson. Any discussion? Not all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, so the
Aye.
next item is the consideration of designation. Designation for our 2015 Ford Explorer police cruiser as surplus and authorization to list it on gov.deals. So this
I'll
is
make
what
the
we do.
motion.
Okay, thank you. Ms. McCully, second. Is there a second?
I'll second. I'll
Any,
second.
thank you. Any discussion? So this is a cruiser that we'd like to surplus. We do have an additional vehicle in waiting that is used for emergency. And we will post this, we will try to sell this on govdeals.com. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 All righty. The next motion passes. The next item is to renew our 3-year contract for mowing and landscaping services with Professional Lawn Maintenance Services, Inc. at an annual cost of $38,503.50. They are I hope everyone is pleased with them. At this time, I'll take a motion. I'll accept the motion.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Ms. McCully.
Second.
Was that Ms. Ms. Tuberville?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Tuberville. Any discussion? Great. Motion made by Ms. McCully, second by Ms. Tuberville. All in favor, please indicate by
As long as you
saying
have the
aye.
clicker.
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Yeah, no, it's not the remote.
Next item is the consideration of approving the Maryland Department of Agriculture to spray for mosquitoes between May 31st through September 27th at an estimated cost of $300.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Ms. McCully. Your second.
I will second the motion.
Thank you. Any discussion on that? Any questions? Did anybody have any questions about that?
Hate mosquitoes.
There was some hesitation. All right, no discussion. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Great. The next item is the consideration of designation of the water wagon as surplus and authorization to sell it to Professional Lawn Maintenance Services. our lawn
I
landscape
make the motion.
contractors for $700.
I
Thank
make
you
the
so
motion.
much.
for it.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
second.
Gotcha. Thank you, Ms. McCully. Motion made by Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. McCully. Is there any discussion? No discussion. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Perfect. Motion passes. The next is the consideration of appointment of the following residents to the election board for this upcoming election. Of course, we have Mr. Charles Mays. He'll be the chief judge, Ward 1. Ms. Meredith Massey, Judge, Ward 2. Ingrid Ali, alternate Judge 1. And Monique Burton, Judge, Ward 2. And Audrey Paps Gammon, she's an alternate as well, Judge Ward 2. Is there a motion to accept this election?
I'll make the motion.
Appoint. Thank you, Ms. McCully. Is there a
I'll
second?
second.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Second.
Johnson. Motion made by Ms. McCully, second by Mr. Johnson. Any discussion questions?
These individuals agree already? Did you speak with them?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much for that question. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
So the next item is the
What's all that
consideration of
mean?
award of bid for sidewalk construction on 51st Avenue, Emerson, and 52nd Avenue to Alcoa Concrete. It's in the amount of $142,586.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Ms. McCully. And second, there's a second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Is there discussion? No discussion. Thank you so much. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Perfect. Thank you so much. Motion passes. The next item is the consideration of approval to construct a 10 by 15 storage shed in the back of the parking lot, our parking lot at Town Hall, for storage of supplies to JOM Painting in the amount of $9,500, which includes a concrete pad and electrical wiring. Is
I'll
there a
make the motion.
Thank you, Ms. McCully. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you so much, Mr. Johnson. Any discussion? Not great. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Perfect.
Aye.
Thank you so much. Motion passes. The next item is the consideration of approval to replace 2 license plates readers. The police currently use this from LSAG. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. The purchase is in the amount of $33,350. This is a Maryland State Police Grant, FY23, a local agency license plate reader grant, which our acting chief Bill went after and received. So is there a motion to?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you so much. Ms. McCully, is there a second?
I will second the motion.
Thank you so much, Ms. Chester. Any discussion?
Yeah, I got a question. What was wrong with the old readers?
One is just out of date and the other one is just not picking up at all. So we had Prince George's County Police come down here and try to do a diagnostic on it, but they couldn't get it to work either. So we only got one actual camera that's working on one cruiser. And then the other ones that are on the back of the newest cruiser, they're out of date and they picked up certain things, but they miss a lot.
All right.
Good question. Thank you so much, Mr. Johnson, for that. So was that Ms. McCully made the motion? And
Yes, I
second
did.
by
Me. Hillary.
Ms. Chester. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Motion passes. And Chief, next item is your report for police and code enforcement. Thank you so much, Council.
Were we doing the Drake after the police report, Mr. Dijon Drake, or?
We're going to see him shortly. soon as
Okay.
we finish with the dialogues.
Got you. So for the month of January, we had, of course, the unfortunate contact shooting on Lafayette. We had 3 auto thefts. Well, most of them were actually Edmonston police. We recovered stolen vehicles in the town. We only had 1 vehicle that was actually stolen from town. Outside of that, that was the only crime we had. As far as parking tickets, we had 14 parking tickets issued, 120 moving violations made, 1 traffic arrest, 1 criminal arrest, 220 premise checks, 49 traffic stops, 23 traffic impounds, 197 calls for service, and 99 red light camera citations. So the red light camera generated $7,425, and we generated $1,955 from vehicle impounds. Any questions about any incidents that we had? For the code report, she wrote 13 municipal infractions, including warnings. She wrote 7 warning letters, including the orange stickers. She issued 3 stop work orders, which came from the result of the shooting that happened on Lafayette. We issued 3 stop work orders, and we're in the process of working with the property manager in reference to securing that location. 4 parking citations were issued by code enforcement, and that was it for code reports. Any questions for that one?
Good.
Very good. Thank you, Chief. Did you want to give any background on the 2 officers that you wanted to present tonight?
Yes. So with the first guy that you guys met, Mr. Armani, like he explained, he's from the MWA, Metro Washington Area Airport Police Authority. And the second one that we have is Mr. Drake Dijon. Dijon is his first name, actually. He's from Prince George's County Sheriff's. Right now, we're at the point where we completed their background. Tomorrow, they would do a voice stress test, which is the truth determination or clarification device. And then from there, we would go into the psychological portion of the background process. So if everything goes good, my goal is to try to have them into the next, what we call comparative compliance, which is the class that certifies or recertifies them as police officers in Maryland. So far, we're on a good path with them.
Any questions, any concerns, any comments? Great. Thank you so much, Chief. Greatly appreciated.
You're welcome.
All right, next is our Mr. Barnes.
Thanks, Your Honor. I don't have a lot to say. We hosted a stormwater grant. We're a partner in a grant with the Neighborhood Design Center with Riverdale Park, North Brentwood, and Hyattsville. And so over the next year, there will be 4 sessions of those maintenance folks and the leadership getting together to learn and work on how to maintain the rain gardens and how to, the importance of them, and learning out. We hosted the first session last week, and we had 15 maintenance workers, and we had about the same number of leaders from those communities go through the presentation from Neighborhood Design. So we're excited to be showing that off. As I said earlier, our council meetings are now streaming on YouTube and will be on Facebook so that folks can see them. And then our website has been down for about 2 weeks, and so we're trying to resolve that and get it back up working correctly. We hope to do that in the next couple of days. Finally, I sent out to you at the quarterly Port Towns meeting, was a discussion about events that the 4 towns could coordinate on, and there were a number of ideas and suggestions, a mental health fair. I believe there was an international day talked about. Mayor probably remembers them all, but anyway, you received a survey today from me, and that survey needs to go back in by February 21st. Please take some time to do the survey and let them know. They're going to tabulate them so that the port towns can determine what maybe cooperative event can occur with the 4 communities during the year here. So please do that. And I believe that's all I have tonight.
Thank you so much, Mr. Barnes. Greatly appreciate it. Any dialogue from the council? Mr. Johnson?
The only thing I noticed over here where I live at, people are really making this illegal turn coming out of the complex. Instead of going down to the light and making the U-turn, they're making that illegal turn right there in front of the complex. And I've seen 2 accidents that, they didn't happen, but it came very close because some people making illegal turns. That's something I should have brought up with Officer Bill, but I forgot.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Now, Mr. Johnson, I talked to you to see exactly which location you're talking about as far as the entrance.
It's like when you coming down Kenilworth Avenue to make the left to go into Fountain Park. Now the people coming out of Fountain Park and making that illegal turn in that left turn lane.
Oh, I got you. I know what you're talking about.
There's been a lot of that going on lately, so.
All right.
Other than that, that's all I
got
have.
information.
Thank you, Mr.
We'll
Johnson.
look into it today.
Mr. Colley?
Not a whole lot to say, other than I'm excited that we're gonna have 2 new officers on to help take care of our little town. Thanks, Eric, for making that happen.
No problem. You're welcome.
Thank you. Ms. Tuberville?
I don't have anything for us tonight. Thanks.
Thank you. And Ms. Chester?
I also don't really have any updates. I'm excited about the stormwater grants, the flood mitigation grants coming out. It's an exciting initiative.
Yeah,
Saw that in the newsletter, so hopefully it's
yeah.
a good thing for our residents. They're excited.
Yep.
Take advantage of it.
I
Thank you
approve
for
the
the
flyer.
work that we all did. Yeah, we did. Great job.
I approved the flyer today, so it will go door to door, and
Excellent.
everyone will have it in their hands.
Thank you so much, Mr. Barnes.
No
lot of
problem.
work.
It's
A lot of work. A lot of
Lot of
work.
work. And still a lot of work coming for you, and so I appreciate it going forward.
There was a
Avery
lot
and
of
I
work for Mr. Barnes to put together and make happen, but it was good work on our part as well. The input, the dialogue is always important.
And Miss Avery and I both will be, we're listed as the contacts, and so either one of us can handle applications and questions as they come.
Is that everybody? Okay. So thank you so much, Ms. Avery, for the work you're doing, you and Asha on the Black History Program. Greatly appreciate it and excited about what's coming up. Just to let you know, PGCMA has sent in a letter of support on rent stabilization. I'm on 2 sides of the fence. Of course, you guys know that because I'm a property manager, but I definitely understand housing and affordability. Alonzo Washington, who was our delegate, has now been appointed as our new senator. As our previous senator is now working for the office of
Maryland Energy Administration.
Energy. I was going to say electricity, and I knew that was wrong. With Governor Wes Moore. So yes, there's an open delegate position that they'll be filling shortly with the Democratic Central Committee. I am excited about our new officers because I do believe that our police department needs that assistance. So thank you for the work that you've done Chief Beal. And also, it's something about these young teenagers that are stealing cars. It's a problem, and it's all over. And we actually had an incident here in the town. So that just shows you how popular it is. So we've got to do something politically. And it starts here at our base and it goes up. But we've got to draw attention to some changes. This is my personal in some of our laws concerning our youth. I know we don't want our youth in jail, but we have to do something different to protect ourselves and our property, right? So thank you for the work that you guys did the other day. And just the one thing Chief Beal said to me is, if I have to, we're going to lock down Edmonston so that we can find out who committed this crime. So thanks to our neighbors who are not afraid to talk to the police. You know, so many like DC and in Baltimore and so on, people are afraid to say, I saw this, but I see that our neighbors are not. So I want to shout out our neighbors, our neighbors who have cameras or who are just nosy. Nothing like a good nosy neighbor, right?
They actually came in handy the other day, which made it a good effort for us to make apprehension of the suspects in that same day that offense happened.
Good. And that's how we get criminals off the street. So we've got to encourage them to do that. That's all I have. Yep, that's it. So if there is nothing else, we are going to adjourn this meeting and then we'll go into a closed session just to finish up on an interview with one of our police officers. And we do not have to come back to the open session because the work has been done tonight. So at this time, I'll accept the motion to go into closed session for interviews and then to adjourn from there.
I'll make that motion.
Oh, and our, thank you, Ms. McCullough. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Our, is all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Great. Our attorney will be here next month with us. Okay. But I think we did pretty good. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ms. Victoria, for being here. Greatly appreciate you.
Thank you all for having me again.
All righty.
Bye-bye.
Miss Avery, if you want to stay on for this, you can as well. But if you want to bid us good night, you definitely can do that. So thank you.